How about now? Can everybody hear me? Can everybody hear me? Okay, perfect. Okay. It's something to do with the cord going there. I have to buy a new cord. Okay. Perfect. All right, let's do Magic versus Bird Era right off the bat. Sadale Threet is in. That's a new one right off the bat. So let's see, let's look at him. What's going on, everybody? I can't look at the chat at the same time I'm looking at that because it's over to my right. Because I can't. I think that's probably why the mic is doing what it's doing because it's stretched a little bit further because my other cord shorted out, so I had to use this second cord. And I'm just having issue with what is happening with the audio. So hopefully everybody can hear me. If you can't end up hearing me at some point, let me know. We're going to dive into all the retro content. It looks like we don't have anybody else new for the bullets. Anybody new? Oh, wait a minute. Oh, that's Brad Work. Okay, it's somebody else. Just looking through. No, because if I use my phone with the chat, it throws it off. I can't see it. Because I'm still looking down. So I got to figure out. I ordered a new cord and it should be here tomorrow through Amazon. So I won't have this problem on the next stream. It was supposed to be here today, but good old Amazon, it got delayed. So there's Greg Kelser. He has added, his face was hidden in the files last year for anybody that knew about 2K. Looks like right off the bat we lost George Johnson on the Atlanta Hawks. So he is out. Let's see. Looking at the Jazz, nobody new for the Jazz. Oh, Kevin Loader is in for the Kansas City Kings. Let's go. All right, so that's another new player. Okay, actually, you know what? I'm going to do that now because I forget. Let's go to the free agent pool really quickly. Eddie Jordan, Lionel Hollins. It doesn't look like they've got very many for this era in the free agent pool. Yeah, not really. All right, let's go back to the Knicks. The Lakers. The Lakers had everybody in last year, so we should be good with them. Just trying to look for new players. Elston Turner, if you remember, was added later in the year. His face was added later in the year. Shout out Razor, who's in the chat as well. He's the retro face guru, so obviously works for 2K, so make sure you're giving him a shout out. Not all of the retro faces are Razors, of course, but he works his ass off to get those faces in for you guys, so make sure you're giving him a shout out in the chat. Let's see. Oh, it looks like, did we lose Joe Wolf? It looks like we did. If anybody's got him from the original servers, yes, not for all the faces. So Razor doesn't do every face, but he does work on some of the retro stuff, so make sure you give him a shout out for all his hard work. Yeah, we lost Joe Wolf, so anybody that has the original download for the rosters, you'll have to get them from there and then upload them back in. So, oh, he was Jordan era. That's right. Okay. Thank you. That's what I get for not paying attention. Perfect. Yes, that's Yeah, okay. Never mind. McKenna was in last year. You know what? I'm just going to do this. Give me 1 second because I'll know who was able to pull into the roster and not. Okay. Perfect. Nobody else knew, it doesn't look like, for. Ah, Phil Ford. There we go. Phil Ford is in North Carolina. So cool. Good to see that. Everybody that's just joining in, we had some server issues on the last video. 2K put out a tweet saying that it's a security feature on their end. So whatever causes the servers to not work initially, they're working now. So really quickly, I want to make a disclaimer. I did last video, but I want to make it for everybody that's not aware here. I do now work for the NBA RPA, which is the NBA Retired Players Association. I'm the licensing consultant for them. So if anybody asks me in the future videos or even in this one, have I reached out to so-and-so or is so-and-so going to be in the game? I cannot legally answer that. I can tell you that there are players that potentially may or may not this year be added in the game. And with that, those players, if they are authorized at some point, they will get into the game. So there are players missing, I can tell you that now, that are not on these rosters. So with that said, thank you everybody who said congratulations. It's been so amazing to get to talk to retired players and help them get into the NBA licensing program. And one of the components of that is NBA 2K. There's a lot of other things that are also available through the MBRPA. So there's Danny Vrains. For those unfamiliar with Danny Vrains, there he is. He made it in. Let's keep going. The Blazers had all their players. Yeah, Gus Williams. Yes, because he passed. Okay. Appreciate that, Justin. Justin, I know you're really I did it in the last stream, but everybody that doesn't know Justin Francis in the chat, give him a shout out because Justin's efforts, he got me a lot of outreach contacts for older players, especially the ones that I don't know as well. And so that kind of helped with outreach efforts, as a whole. So make sure you're thanking him because without Justin's efforts, a lot of these guys wouldn't be in, especially the older two eras. So make sure you're giving him a shout out. So, Lorenzo Romar made it. For those that don't know Lorenzo Romar as a player, you know him as the Washington coach. What did I just click on? Oops. I clicked on something that took me into, I don't know what happened there. There we go. Okay. So Lorenzo Romar actually coached at Washington. He coached a lot of great players. Brandon Roy. He coached Isaiah Thomas. Like tons of guys. So glad to see him in the game. Larry Smith made it. There's Larry Smith. Mickey Johnson made it as well. So glad to see Mickey Johnson in. He was another one that a lot of people had asked for last year. You know what? Let me go in really quickly. I missed something. So let me go to the coaches. How do you do that? Okay. So this year it's a little different. So let's look at the coaches. Kevin Lowry. My understanding is he's in as a player last year, so I don't know how that'll work getting his face updated. Casey Jones has an actual face scan in the game, so they got to update that. Just want to look at the coaches to see. Lenny Wilkins is in there. Okay. Let's look at the staff. Is the staff still set up as it was? Yep. Still set up the same way. You got to go through and you can't really. Wow. So you got to actually, let's see. Yeah, you can't scroll through the menu. You got to go team by team and click on it. That's exciting. Anyway, let's skip out of that. Let's go to the Jordan era. All right, Jordan era. Derek Strong is new. I always like to go through all of them to make sure, because sometimes they'll lower a guy's rating down below. Oops, let's see. Actually, I'm gonna do it this way. Let me go to the coaches first, and then knock those out, and then we'll come back through. Who is he saying? Let's see. I clicked off of my video, so I can't see I saw a wrong face for Doug Moe. Okay. There's Wes Unseld. I just want to look at the coaches. Let's see. Matt Gukas in as a coach. Larry Brown. Rick Adelman. Okay, cool. All right, I just wanted to check the coaches to get that out of the way, so sorry about that. Let's go back. Okay. Larry Krystowiak is in. Damn, I keep hitting the wrong button. I'm so used to last year. The menu's a little different. We had Mark Allaire. I think last year everybody was filled up on. I didn't think Matt Gukas was there last year, but maybe he was. So yeah, it's been a while since I did video, so I'm a little rusty, guys. So apologies for that. I'll get back in the swing of things. Lots more videos this year. There's John Battle. Stojko Varenkovic is in. Larry Robinson is in. Let's go. So we're filling the teams out. One of my favorites, sadly passed away young, was Reggie Lewis. Leonard Copeland. Was Copeland in last year? I don't remember. Olden Polynice. What's also cool, what I can say publicly, so the MBRPA has an annual Legends meeting every year in July in Las Vegas, and a lot of the Legends come, and I got to personally meet tons of players. Paul Pressey, Jim McIlvaine, tons of guys. Alton Lister, Jerome Junkyard Dog Williams, tons and tons of guys. CJ Watson was there. Lots of guys. Alexander Volkov got added. Nice. But yeah, tons of guys. Everybody was so nice and gracious. Very thankful for, doing what I'm doing and things like that. Especially Mr. Sam Williams and Ricky Sobers. Like, I got to meet Chris Morris. Crazy enough, I did a podcast years ago with buddies who I'm still friends with today. And actually, Chris Morris's two sons are Sean and Mike, and they both play college basketball. I got to talk to Chris about that and let him know how great his sons are as men and things like that, and really got to chat with Chris Morris a while. So, yeah, Justin, I'd love to go to the luncheon and all that stuff. It's just a matter of if that can work or not. So, not my call, unfortunately. I'd love to do anything I can to help as many legends as I can, not with just 2K, but just everything in general. So anything they ever need, I'm willing to help with. I haven't seen anybody new yet, so that's why I haven't said anything. Still not looking like anybody is new there. Bob Hansen was in already. Let's go to the Knicks. I can't see. Let's see. Nobody else there. There's Sedale Threet on the Lakers. Of course, he was in the other era. We already saw him. I'm glad they did not lose Demetrius Caleb. Looking at... Moreland Wiley made it. Let's go. He's another one. Such a nice guy. He actually is the treasurer for our Dallas chapter. So, hell of a nice guy, Moreland is. Let's go through. Fat Lever is the president for the Phoenix chapter. Nice guy as well. Looking at... What do I feel like somebody got removed? Maybe not. As I talked about, there's Chris Morris. Doug Lee is also a chapter member. He is the actual, let me think. I think it was Vegas chapter member. I didn't actually get to shake his hand. He was busy and I didn't want to interrupt. They changed it. So they got Chris Jackson in instead of Mahmoud Abdul Rauf. There's Joe Wolf. Sorry about the mistake, guys, earlier for mixing that eras up. That's what I get for not sleeping great last night and then having the hiccups earlier with the servers. So let's keep going. Mike Sanders was in. He was in last year. It was Jeff Sanders that was not in. That's right. So nobody new there. I'm going to keep going. There's Larry Smith again. Looking. Andrew Lang made it. Great to see Andrew Lang in. Benoit Benjamin. There he is. Got Benoit Benjamin in. Looks like all the same guys for Minnesota. Lamont Struthers made it. There we go. All right. I think that's it for the rosters. I don't think I missed anybody else. All right, we're good. Let's go over to the Kobe era. Let's start out really quickly with the free agent pool. Oh, did I miss Pooh Richardson? That's what I get for rushing through. Let's go back. What is happening with this? There's a delay now. There we go. Pooh Richardson. Yep, Pooh Richardson. Perfect. It's Jerome Pooh Richardson. Let's go. Yeah, perfect. He's such a nice guy as well. So, Kobe era. Let's jump into that one. Ephemios Prinzius is in. Let's go. Perfect. Actually, I'm going to back up. Let me go to the free agent pool. Let's see who they added there. Did they fix any of the faces? Anthony Goldwire, Jeff Trepanier, Maceo Baston. They were all in last year. Doesn't look like we've got anybody new. So in the free agent pool. That wasn't in last year. Let's see. Marcus Hayslip. There we go. Marcus Hayslip is in. Goldwire was in last year. He had a generic face, same as he does this year. Lonnie Baxter. Lonnie Baxter made it. DeJuan Wagner. Somebody I had been waiting for a long time to get into the game. So that'll be a nice phone call to make. Chris Mim. Michael Stewart. Yogi Stewart makes it in. So pretty much the only one missing, and he signed later in the season, was Tierre Brown. Ruben Wolkowski is in. So who is missing? Kedrick Brown is missing. Tony Battie makes it in. So Kedrick Brown is missing, and I think Mikey Moore is the other one. Let's go to the Clippers. Oh, they got Eric Podkowski, Marco Jaric, Chris Wilcox is in, Sean Rooks. Let's go. That's a long time coming. That actually fills the whole team up, I think. I think that is the whole team. Grizzlies. Oh, we got Lorenzen Wright in the game. Let's go. Man, happy to see him in the game. Chris Owen, such a nice guy. Met him at the alumni event in Vegas. So who are we missing? So Mike Batiste we're missing. You know, there's a couple guys missing. Michael Dickerson, of course. Cesare Travansky and Robert Archibald. Those are the ones missing. Alan Henderson. Ira Newble. Let me see something really quickly. So if I edit... Yep, you can edit the faces and stuff. Man, so that's going to be great for content creators. We got to get Amal McCaskill in. Anthony Carter makes it in. Still missing a lot of guys. Rasul Butler, Ken Johnson, Sean Marks. You know, there's some guys missing there. Robert Traylor's still missing here. John Amici. John Amici's face was in the game last year, hidden in the files, so... Still missing quite a bit for the Knicks. Nobody knew. The only one that was missing for the Magic is Jurl Sasser. I can't track down Jurl Sasser at all, so, like, I'm trying. Anthony Johnson. Let's go. Now we just need Lucius Harris and Jamie Fike. Rodney White made it. Donnell Harvey made it. Vincent Yarborough. Predrag Savovich. Still missing Skeetishvili and Junior Harrington. Primoz Brezic. Obviously, you got Jamal Tinsley. Man, that's a bad render of Jamal Tinsley to make, so somebody's going to have to fix that one. That'll be fun to see. Zelchko Rabratza is in. There's Michael Curry. Yes, it's a licensing thing. Bean Lewis on why players are missing in the game. Yes, it is a licensing thing. They have to sign off on their name, image, likeness. For those that don't remember, the O'Bannon brothers case from the mid 90s with NBA Live, I believe it was, they actually sued and won, and that caused a crazy storm of things behind that, so they have to get them to sign legally. What's up, Thunder Shack? Yes, a lot of new players. Let's see. Nobody was new there. Nobody new for. Oh, yes, there is. Terrence Morris. Let's go out of Maryland. Super nice guy. He's a trainer now, actually. He trains kids. Did I miss anybody? I'm making sure I didn't miss anybody else. Suns. Nobody knew. We still need Dan Lange, Jake Sokolidis. One person I can't find is Jake Sokolidis. So, we'll see if that works out at some point. Nobody else knew. Jerome James is the only one missing for Seattle. Rasho Nesterovic. There we go. Great to see him back in the game. Troy Hudson above him, actually. So there's Troy Hudson. There's Lauren Woods. Jeff McInnes. We still need Rasheed Wallace. We also need Dale Davis. Golden State. Troy Murphy. Danny Fortson. Yuri Welsh. Still missing Oscar Torres. And forgot the other guy for them. Nobody should be new for Ratko Vardo would be the one missing here for the Wizards. But let's see. Did I go through the faces already? They need to fix that. Doug Collins. That was the same issue last year. Yeah, same thing with the coaches from last year. All right, let's jump into the LeBron era. Right off the bat, Andres Nocioni, Tony Battie. Obviously, we had in the other eras. Doesn't look like anybody else is new. Oops. Nobody for Charlotte. Luke Mbah-a-Moute for the Bucks. Carlos Delfino. Chris Douglas Roberts. John Brockman. So it looks like John Salmons is one of the key ones missing there. Nobody needed to be added for Chicago. Nobody new for Cleveland. Same goes for Boston. Obviously, Blake Griffin back for the Clippers. Ryan Gomes. Al-Farouq Aminu. Willie Warren. Oh, wow. They pulled out the old Willie Warren from like his original render. Sam Young made it. Xavier Henry. Gravis Vasquez. Hamed Haddadi. So, man, they really are filling them in. Marvin Williams. Pap C. Wow, that's the old Pap C version when he was in the very first time when he played. That's crazy. I don't know about Damari Carroll's headband. Let's see. Doesn't seem like it. Yeah, it doesn't seem like it is. It doesn't seem like it's removable. I think the only one missing here. Let's see. No, Vasquez was not in last year. Man, I keep hitting the wrong button there. Ah, Marcus Thornton made it. Let's go. Pops Mensa Bonsu with the old render. Quincy Pondexter, he was in the files last year. Joe Alexander made it. We got CJ Miles. Cirillo Fasenko. Pooh Jeter made it. Francisco Garcia. Wow. I'm glad he made it in. Darnell Jackson made it. Antoine Wright made it. I'm glad they kept Gallinari in. I was worried about Gallinari if he would re-up. There's Anthony Randolph. Timofey Mozgov is in. Let's go. Derek Character. He is in. Brandon Bass. Chris Duhon. Troy Murphy again. Anthony Carter again. Doesn't look like anybody. No, Bass was not in last year. There's Chris Wilcox again. Jonas Jerebko's in. Ed Davis is in. David Anderson is in. Chase Budinger is in. Ish Smith did make it. Let's go. So Ish Smith is still in. Wasn't sure. Community. Yeah, that's true. Community created rosters. DeJuan Blair is in. George Hill is in. He was taken out last year. Alonzo G is in. I don't know, Hunter. Don't know. I don't know if we're going to get a younger Carmelo. Nobody else for Phoenix. Gary Neal was in last year. He had a Oh, okay. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, they went with the old version. Then that Kierstich is in. Cole Aldridge is in. Did I miss anybody else? Oh, Ibaka. Yep, Ibaka. I'm so used to him being a staple. That's in. Yeah, Ibaka's in. Pekovic is in. Wayne Ellington is in. Lazar Hayward is in. Now if we can track down Al Jefferson. Nobody else there. Reggie Williams. Lou Amundsen. Jeff Adrian's in. Let's go. Al Thornton. Cartier Martin. Oh, that's a terrible Cartier Martin. At least give him his dreads. Lester Hudson, not Lou Hudson. Lester Hudson is in. Did I already do? I don't remember if I did the coach faces for this one or not. So we'll go through. It's going to be a fun year for custom rosters for sure. There's a lot of new faces in, and now having the ability to add even more with custom rosters. Obviously, Popovich is out because he's not in the coaching. He's not in the coaching. What do you call it? Coaching association group. So they don't have him in. So that's the Doug Collins they need to use for the 2002, 2003 as well. Tibbs is out, of course, because he, fired as a coach. But let's dive into the Steph era now. Nerlens Noel is in. Hollis Thompson is in. Tony Snell is in. Did I miss? Oh, Okafor is in, but Okafor got added last year. Oh, there we go. We get an actual fixed Okafor this year. There we go. Okay. Okafor was technically in last year because he was in the regular rosters on the Pacers. Nikola Mirotic is in. Let me see something with Mirotic. No, they don't have the different. I thought maybe you could do a different version with a beard. But I guess not. That's okay. Cristiano Felicio is in. Paul Zipser's in. Nobody new for the Cavs. Jerebko there for, we saw him in the other eras. Blake Griffin, of course. Mbah Moute, Bass. All those guys were. Yeah, still no Amon Shumpert, but no Amon Shumpert. Deontay Davis. Jarrell Martin. Let's go. So they did keep Mike Muscala in. That's good because he just retired. Mike Scott. Wayne Ellington's back there. Oh, good. They did keep Josh Richardson. Still missing a lot of Heat players. Frank Kaminsky was in last year. There's Marvin Williams again. Brian Roberts made it. Aaron Harrison made it. That's wild that they added. So Aaron is in. Oops. George Hill again. Raul Neto is in. Yeah, Andrew's separate from Aaron. Yes, they're twins, but they're separate. They both got to agree to sign. So, Willie Cauley-Stein, Scalabissier. Glad to see him back in with a face update. At least they kept Derek Rose. Mindaugas Kuzminskis, such a nice guy. Lakers, Mozgov. Marcelo Huertas, Thomas Robinson. There's Ibaka. Mario Hezonja. CJ Wilcox. Steven Zimmerman. Damian Rudez. So now we just need Fournier and who's the other one? There's somebody, I think Fournier. I can't think off the top of my head who's missing. Oh, Arinze Anawaku. No, it's Arinze Anawaku. Devin Marble was, I think, the year before. Quincy Acey is in. Sean Kilpatrick made it. Joe Harris is still in. That's good. Gravis Vasquez. Still missing quite a few for the Nets. Oh, now that I think about it, was Robin Lopez in for the Suns? I have to look. I don't think anybody's new for the Nuggets. CJ Miles again for the Pacers. Oh, he was Chicago. Okay, so he was. Okay. I meant to say for the Suns for the other era, but I'm wondering if he got taken out. Who did I stop? Who was I stopped on? Okay. There's Terrence Jones. I didn't think Lopez was in. Yeah, Terrence Jones, Quincy Pondexter. Reggie Bullock stayed in. That's good. There's Stanley Johnson. Henry Ellenson. Michael Gabenye. Bruno Caboclo. Lucas Noguera. Technically, yes. So Ish Smith wasn't in last year. They didn't put him on there. They missed it last year. So let's go to the. Actually, let's make sure I didn't miss anybody else. Okay, Rockets. Tyler Ennis. Bobby Brown. Yeah, I said Gabenye. That looks to be it for them. Danny Green still in. That's a good sign. Davis Bertans stays in. That's a good sign. Yeah, Ryan Anderson's hard to find as well. So TJ Warren stays in. That's good. Marquise Chris. Dragan Bender. So now we just need guys like Brandon Knight and stuff like that to go in. Alex Abrinas is in. Missing a lot of other guys. Samaj Christian, Kyle Singler, Joffrey Laverne, Ersan Ilyasova. Shabazz Muhammad, Nikola Pekovic, Cole Aldridge again. Nemanja Bjelica is in. There's Aminu. I'm surprised they didn't use Aminu's face scan from when he was in previously. They still got quite a bit they got to add to the Trailblazers, namely like Mo Harkless and some other guys. Right off the bat, it looks like JaVale McGee is out. Damian Jones is still in. That's good. There's John Wall. There's Markieff Morris. So Marcus Morris is actually not in because he's not on this Pistons team. So technically, I guess you could take it if you really wanted to. You could take Markieff and put him in. Trey Burke. Daniel House. There's Marcus Thornton again. Daniel Achefu is in. So, yeah, the Warriors are missing quite a few guys. Off the top of my head, Iguodala, JaVale McGee, Patrick McCall, James Michael McAdoo, Ian Clark is another one. So, yeah, those are lots of missing guys. Let's look at the coach faces. Jordan Bell was the next year. He was 17-18. Let's look at the coach faces. There we go. All right. So I am actually going to switch things up here really quickly. I want to look for the 03 draft really fast. I'm going to look. Mache Lampe is in the game. So they got Mache Lampe. Let's look at, I'm going to look for something. There's a guy named Zero. Hold on. Oh, I see that. That's supposed to be Earl Barone. Wow. Yeah, so it says Barone right there, but then when you click out of it, it says Zero. So that's weird. Let's see. Let's do it this way. So Delfino is in. That's something I'll have to bring to 2K's attention, that it's doing that. There's Melo. People were asking about Melo. Yuta Tabusi was in my team last year. Michael Sweetney is in. He was my team exclusive last year. Yes. Barone, I'll definitely have to get that passed over to Barone. Yuta's got the same thing. Yuta Tabusi has got the same issue. It's saying Yuta 0. So that's two guys to mark down. I don't know. It must be something with something they did with the coding. It's not like in the names or something. Okay. I am going to look at, because I'm looking at something specific for myself. So just bear with me. Rafael Rougeau made it. Let's go. All right. I know it's not going to mean a lot to some, but there's reasons behind why I was looking at that particular set of players. So I'm just looking through and seeing that. Man, we got it again. Who is this? Andre Brown. Man, it's having an issue. Andre Brown's got a scan, though. It's having an issue. There's Antonio Burks from Memphis. Let's go. Pavel Podkolzin was in last year. So Damian Wilkins. Damian Wilkins got a scan. I don't think he had one last year, if I remember correctly. You guys can correct me if I'm wrong, but All right, you know what? We're going to keep with the trend because I did 0304. I'm going to go 05 now because there's somebody else that I'm looking for as well. That is, wait, wow. What is happening with the coding this year? That's Sherrod Ford, but it's glitching the names for some reason. There's Francisco Garcia again. Von Wafers, oh, he had an update last year. Never mind. Wayne Simeon. Wayne Simeon made it in. Travis Diener made it in. There's Anthony Roberson. He made it in. You know what, guys? Give me a quick second. I'm going to flip over to something because I actually have a master list of everybody that I'm looking for. So let me do this. Let me flip it to alphabetical because I'll be able to call out, like as I'm looking for something, I'll be able to call that name out in particular as I see it pop up. Yeah, a couple guys weren't so fortunate of making it in. Orion Green made it. Let's see. Roberson, like I said. Yeah, there's a few that did not make it. Charlie Villanueva was in already. Dejon Thompson is in. I'm hoping we'll get a scan for Marvin Williams at some point, even if they use the old one. Let me look and see. Okay, I'm going to do this. I'm just going to keep going with the draft classes for a minute, and then I promise you I'm going to hop over to the regular rosters after that, and then we'll dive into my team. Just looking to see if anybody is new. Pops Mensu Bonsu. Lou Amundsen, Boo Jeter. Chris Copeland is new. That means Copeland will be on Indiana in the historic rosters as well. They got Pooh Jeter twice. So they got, it looks like Eugene Jeter there. And then Pooh Jeter up there. So they got him twice. That's another feedback note. I'm not seeing anybody else pop up. Danilovic is not going to be in the game because he's not it's not in at the moment. Okay, so let's go. Actually, I want to look at one other thing. Let me go back to, I think that was 06. I'm going to do that one more time because I want to look at something in case I missed. Okay. I wasn't. Okay. Let's go. Let's go 07. There's not going to be a ton, so I know who I'm looking for. Al Thornton is there, of course, like I mentioned. Man, I hope that at some point guys like Cartier Martin and stuff like that I'm not going to be able to answer if I've contacted players or not. Unfortunately, I cannot do that. It doesn't look like the player I was looking for is going to be in here. Yeah, Bobby Brown was in the Eras rosters on 16-17. 16-17 Houston. Vasenko was in the Eras rosters as well. Dang, okay. I got to make a note of something else. Somebody is not in here that should be. Let's see. Couple players I know weren't going to make it because they were too late in the process. And so it's debatable whether they get in or not. It's up to 2K at that point. Let's do 09. Ha! So they added Gerald Henderson in here. They forgot to put him in the eras. So he's supposed to go on in some eras. Razor, I appreciate that. Razor, if you're going to track it, we'll talk. So if you're going to track it, that would save me a heck of a lot of time having to watch my own video again and remember. All right, so Gerald Henderson is in the game, but he's missing on 10-11 Charlotte and 16-17 Philly. Will you write that down, Razor? That Gerald Henderson is in here, but he's not where he's supposed to be otherwise on those two rosters. I'm looking. So want to see everybody that got added. That's not Johnny O'Brien. Okay. Thank you, Razor. I appreciate that. I'm going to guess that they didn't get... So as I'm looking through these, I'm looking for certain players that I know potentially could be in or not. So I kind of know who I'm looking for. So I'm just going through each of these to see. Actually, I think that is everybody in it. Actually, there's one other person. Iguodala is not in, I can tell you that. Okay. The person I was looking for is not in. Either one of them. All right, let's go to 10. Pendergraph is in. He's in as Jeff Ayers and Pendergraph. So there's John Wall, of course. So Aminu's got a bald head in this one. That's another note. This Nemanja Bjelica is another one with the 0. There's Xavier Henry. Pepsi. Gary Harold Miner was in last year. There's Willie Warren again. LaRoche, I'll go back and check 92 in a few minutes. Derek Character, Jerome Jordan. That means Jerome Jordan would be for 11-12 New York. There's Armand Johnson. All right. So let's go to, you know what? Let's see. Let me look. All right. I got 2011 pulled. It scrolled back through. I appreciate that. Carrie. Appreciate that, man. Go back. How we need you hired by 2K. Well, I can't do both. So, unfortunately, yeah, I can't do both. Can't do 2K and the alumni at the same time with that. So, not as a full-timer for both, but yeah. Mata Yunus is in. Some of these names are hilarious. Andrew Godalock in. Who's got a 0? Zoran Dragic has a 0 as well. Razor, could you write that down for me, if you don't mind? Yeah, I don't know what is happening that these guys are having 0s like that, but because Minskis is there. Doesn't look like anybody else is in for 11. Wow. Okay. Actually, to be honest, looks like there was only one. Yeah, there was only one that I had listed. Can I toggle between draft classes without exiting? No, it doesn't look like it. No, it doesn't look like it. Let's go. So I'm gonna go up to 2016, and then I'll go back, and I'll knock out 1992 because a couple of people asked about that one. So let me get through these next few, and I'll go back through. There's Thomas Robinson, Terrence Jones. There's AC and Mike Scott. Hollis Thompson. Hollis Thompson's bald. He's got to get his render fixed. Tyler Zeller is in there from last year. It's not looking like anybody else is in. Let's see who else I'm supposed to be looking for. Yeah, they didn't add. They're missing Brian Roberts, and they had him elsewhere. Okay. Let's go to 2013. There's Trey Burke again. Shabazz Muhammad. The one that sucks losing is Bad render for Tony Snell. That needs to be updated. The one that sucks missing is Victor Oladipo because he's kind of in between right now of wanting to play and being retired. So who knows? Abrinas. There's Ryan Brokoff. Oh, Travis Leslie for 2011. I'll have to go back and look. I don't think he was in there. Somebody else has a 0. Lucas Nogueira has a 0. Cameron Anthony. Oh, Tim Legler. No, Melly was in last year. He signed a couple years ago, I think, directly with 2K, and he's been in every year since. All right, that looks to be it for that draft class. Let's go to 2014. At least Elfrid Payton's back in because he played last year. So he'll be in at least for this year. Hopefully he makes it again. PJ Hairston is in the game. He's got a 0. Cristiano Felicio's got a 0. There's CJ Wilcox. Wow. Double zeros. That's who is that? Eric Moreland. And who is that one? Sean Kilpatrick. Sim Bowler has a 0. Bruno Caboclo's got a face. Somebody else has a 0. That is that Larry Drew? Yes, Larry Drew the second. Larry Drew the second's got a 0. And I'm going to have to dive in deep whenever I'm off stream. Yeah, he does have his dad's face. But I'll take it rather than not having him in at all because he wasn't in last year. What year was that? Was that 2013 or 14? I think that was 14 that I just did. So 15, 2015. There's Okafor up close there. There's Cauley Stein. There's Hazonia. There's Stanley Johnson. That's hilarious. Okay, do you guys see this? Tell me if I'm tripping or not. That's Juancho Hernangomez, right? Is that Billy or Juancho? That's Juancho, right? Oh, that's Billy. Okay. But they have him as Juan Miguel Holiday. That is hilarious. Wow. You can't make this up. Briante Weber has a 0. Juan Miguel is Juancho's name. Nicholas Brusino. He needs to be in the air as Brusino needs to be on 16-17 Dallas. There's Aaron again. Aaron Harrison has a 0. Jesus. I'm going to have to go through every draft class to see who has 0s now. I'm not doing it on stream. I'll do it off stream. I'm not going to bore you guys to death with every single draft class. I just know these are going to have more guys in it because of outreach efforts and things like that. So that's why I'm looking at all these draft classes, just in case anybody was wondering. There's Marquise Chris. This is the 2016 draft. There's Paul Zipser. Dragan Bender. There's Troy Williams. Troy Williams is supposed to go into the eras as well, if I'm not mistaken. Memphis. So that's good to see him in. Ante Zizic. There's Yabusele. Henry Ellenson again. So it's hilarious they got Henry Ellenson at a 68, and he was what? Wasn't Ellenson like a top 15 pick, if I remember correctly, or somewhere in there? There's Daniel Chefu again. '18th, okay, 18th pick. You know what? I'm gonna go to 92 now because I said I was. So there's Shaq. There's a new haircut for Shaq. Let's actually look at it. Okay, it stays this time. Because remember last year I had the issue where it was glitching. So you can actually change it to the bald version. Cool. Okay. I like that. I don't know about an eras. Everybody's got to be. I mean, you got to get the licensing rights for a lot of players if you're doing the 70s era. So a lot of work still to be done. Robert Weirden, who actually was a coach as well as a player, is in. Byron Houston played in the NBA. He's in. Chris King. There's Matt Fish, played in the NBA. Stephen Howard. Just looking at names. There's Harold Miner. Harold Miner's there. For some reason, he got put at a 67. I don't pay attention to any of the... I don't pay attention to the ratings because they just throw them in there, so... I'm just happy that they make it into the game. That's what I care about. Okay, cool. All right, I'm going to actually do the... I'm going to go backwards now because there's some other guys that I want to see if they got added in or not. So... I'm going to 93. I'm just going to kind of go through now. I promise I'm going to go over to the regular rosters in a minute. I just want to see if some of these guys got it in because it looks like, yeah, so like Eric Riley would go on 93-94 Houston. AC Earl is in. Antoine Rigaudot would go on 02-03 Dallas. Terry DeHeer is in. He was with Sacramento and the Clippers. I'll check on Legler. I didn't forget about Legler. Tell me what year he's supposed to be in, and then I'll look. There's James Robinson. Yeah, let me know what year he's supposed to go in. Was it like 88 or something like that? 87, 88, something like around in that range for Legler. Okay, that's probably it for that draft class. 88, okay. All right, let me look. I'm going to knock that out real fast because you guys have asked a few times, and I try to keep track of the chat, but I can't. I keep looking kind of up. So I got to figure out how I'm going to make that work. I probably just need to get another, like an iPad and throw it to the bottom and have it in the, like, stationary to my left because this screen's all the way over here and my other screen's way over here. So I can't look that way and look. So obviously I passed Andrew Lang. There's Moreland Wiley again. There's Tim Legler. Purdue. Does Purdue have Jake Layman's face again? Where's Purdue? Yes, that's Jake Layman. So if you guys want Jake Layman's scan for Portland in 16-17, there he is. You just change his attributes. Keith Smart. I was going to say, I thought that was Brian Evans. Let's say that's a little early for Brian Evans to be in the NBA. Okay. Let's go to Esposito. No, I did not get him. I'm trying to look and see what draft class I want to look at. I'm going to look at 96 because there's some guys in here. Lorenzen Wright again. Jeff McInnes. There's Amal McCaskill. So McCaskill made it in here, but he's supposed to go in 0203 era. Razor, if you don't mind making a note. Travis Knight. I'm just looking. It's probably it because, let's see, McCaskill. I got one more I need to see. I'm going to actually go alphabetical order because I know who I am looking for. Ben Wallace is in, at least in the draft class. A lot of people asked about him before. The person I am looking for is not in, unfortunately, so that means he didn't make it in time. All right, let's go to 97. There's Tony Battie again. Ira Newble again. Anthony Johnson. That's a different Anthony Johnson than the other one. That's okay, though. It doesn't look bad. They've got to darken Danny Fortson, for the love of God. And he is not a point forward. Keith Booth, 97-98, Chicago Bulls. That's actually the player I was looking for in the draft class, so that will take care of that one. And then I got one more. Is that a new Pollard scan? Did I miss it? Okay. Let's see. Looks like an updated Pollard scan. Yeah, they got multiple Pollard scans now, so that's good. Let's see. The player I was looking for is not in. Fernando Martin is. I don't know. I'll have to go look in just a little bit. Give me a little bit, Carrie, before I go backwards again, because I'm looking for certain players in the draft. So 99 draft, I'm looking for. All right, I'm going to look in to, let's see. 98 draft, I'm going to just look at really quickly. I'm not expecting much in this one. Anthony Carter again. Rasha Nesterovich. Tremaine Folks. Okay. I'm not expecting the player to be in, but I just want to check. This has 1,000% been the most additions to the era rosters in the history of the eras. I know that because I was one of the ones responsible for getting those players authorized for the game through the MBRPA. So if you guys don't know what the MBRPA is, it is the NBA Retired Players Association. It lends basically a lot of services, whether it's networking, coaching appearances, health care, health screenings, NBA licensing program, a lot of other services to retired players. It allows them to help with the transition of their second careers after basketball. So we do a lot of great things for them. And so getting authorized for 2K is one small component, but it's an important one because a lot of players' legacies kind of get dropped out of discussions whenever guys are talking nowadays about players, because, like, as you know, role players, aren't at the forefront of discussions. So our job is to help those players remain at the forefront of discussions. So specifically what I do is player outreach in order to help them with NBA 2K authorization. So, yeah. Looking for players in the 99. Tim James is in. I think he was in last year. Wish they would not skip years in draft classes. Yeah, they did that on purpose because they couldn't get them all. Michael Ruffin is in. So he would go on 06, 07 Washington. Thank you, Matthias. I appreciate that. Rodney Buford. Quincy Lewis is in again. Just looking. Okay. All right, 2000 draft class, and then I'm going to go to 01, and then 02, and then I'm going to go to the, or actually, I clicked the wrong one. I meant to go to 2000. 2000 draft class. Chris Mim made it in there. Marko Jaric made it. Daniel Harvey, Primoz Brezic. Just looking. Let me see who would be. Okay. Let's see. I'm looking for specific players. Okay, he didn't make it. Let's see. The Jacob, the guy you just said, is who I was looking for, actually. Okay. Yeah, there's some work to do on 2000 to get some. See if we can't get some guys pushed through. Ori, you're welcome. Man, hey, I love 2K2. And to me, just to give you guys a little bit of background, so I've been a massive NBA fan since about 1991. And so giving back to these players for everything I was able to watch growing up, whether it was Drazen Petrovic or just all kinds of players. Drazen Petrovic was my first favorite player, as probably crazy as that sounds to most people, but he passed away way too soon. If they added Washburn in the draft class, Washburn would be what, 87? To look. Jamal Tinsley with the ugly render. It's okay, he's still in. We can fix that. Terrence Morris. 86. Okay, I'll look. No, I have no idea, Sam, about 2K with college. Alvin Jones is in still. I forgot who I was looking for now. Okay. Let me see. I don't think he made it. No. Okay. That means if he didn't make it, the player that I'm looking for, I definitely know that another player didn't make it, so I'm going to skip. All right, I'm going to look at 02 because there's one player that I'm looking for that wasn't in the eras. I'm so happy DeJuan Wagner made it. Damn. What is this? Cole Wilcox? That's wrong. Razor, will you write that down? It's number one. It says Cole and it has a 0. That's supposed to be Chris Wilcox, and I don't think that's not Chris Wilcox's scan. So who is that? Anybody know who that is by chance? I don't think that's Chris Wilcox's scan. Because there's Chris Wilcox right there. So Chris Wilcox has got a 0 on both. But who is this? Who that kind of looks like. No, I don't know if that's who that is. It looks like that could be Linton Johnson. That's who that looks like. Lonnie Baxter, Ryan Humphrey. No, because there's Linton Johnson. Yeah, so that's Linton Johnson, but they have it twice, so that's a glitch. So Linton Johnson is in. Linton Johnson also would go on 04-05 San Antonio. Predrag Savovic. 2 more. Slate Corsley Edwards is in. Oh, man. I'm going to have to go through a lot of the draft classes and mark off each one because I have a massive spreadsheet of guys that should and should not be in, or should be in, and if they're not in, I have to mark it. Okay, that's probably it for those. Let me go back and see. So you said 86 draft. Also want to look at let's look at the 86 draft. There's Washburn. Washburn does not have a face in. It's generic. Who else would be 86? So okay. I'm looking for specific players. Yeah, it doesn't look like they made it in time. Nope. Brankovic at least made it. All right. I'm going to look for one guy in 87. Ah, shoot, I hit 86. My bad. Steve Alford's in. And he's got a face. Doesn't look like the player I was trying to find is in. Okay, yeah, he's not in. Did I do 9? I don't think I did 94. Carlos Rogers. Greg Minor. Michael Smith. I was thinking. Yeah, they're not. Doesn't look like as much was put into the draft classes as some other spots. Yeah. Any other draft classes really quick you guys want me to look at? Because I'm going to switch out and go to the modern roster so I can look at the eras. Anything else really fast that you guys want to see draft class wise? You know what? Actually, I'm going to do really quickly because I want to look at something. I'm going to look at the old. Okay. That's not what I wanted. I can't see the. There we go. Yeah, it looks like probably some guys it's going to take a little longer to get in because the person I was looking for is not in there either. Okay. All right, let's dive into now the modern roster. So we're going to actually do it this way. I will come back to the regular rosters last. I'm going to go to the historic rosters and see. Yeah, Cincy Powell. Ooh. So it looks like we lost Dick Barnett, right? What's up, Hoodie? Appreciate the stream. Everybody that has not, if you're in here for the first time and you've not already subbed to the channel, please subscribe to the channel. Hit the thumbs up button also if you haven't. I also have donation links at the bottom. If you guys like all of the players that are in and appreciate all the effort for the roster, stuff like that, if you want to donate, that'd be great. Pretty much all donations go... everything really goes to my son, to be honest. It just goes in an account for him, and he can hang on to it for later and hopefully use it for something cool later in life, stuff like that. So that's all I do it for the YouTube stuff for now. So anybody that wants to donate, put a little money in his piggy bank or in the bank, please do. The thing about these older eras is these players are obtainable. It's just getting a hold of the estates and getting them, letting them know what the process is, all that stuff, and everything like that. So that's the biggest thing there. Greg Fillmore is new. Fillmore is now in the game for New York. Nobody else new there. The only one missing is Chris Engler and David Thirdkill for Milwaukee. Mike Smearick made it. Or Schmeck. I think that's how you say it. So he made it in. Just looking because I'm trying to remember everybody. Oh no, David Thirdkill was he was later in or earlier in that year, so he would actually go on this Boston team. Excuse me, so I misspoke there. John Battle actually got added here. That's cool. So they got John Battle. So Lorenzo Charles is missing on this Hawks team. Schmear should have been, yep. So he got added there. Cool. All right. Just looking through. Nothing. There's not going to be a lot of guys. I'm going to go ahead and tell you here for the older eras. They're going to be more for the newer side. There's Larry Robinson is in. Eric Riley. So that's good. That leaves Chris Gent. I think as the only one missing for the Rockets. Oh no, Richard Petruska is missing as well. Nothing new for Denver. Nothing new there. Now Jespin was in last year. Nobody new there. Same. Yep, same rosters here. There's Keith Booth. So Keith Booth completes the team. Now that 97-98 Bulls team is full. Technically, if you wanted to add an extra player to Utah, you could add Troy Hudson. He got cut during the season. Sean Rooks for 97.98. That leaves Mario Bennett and Shea Seals as the only ones missing for 97.98. Still missing the same guys for San Antonio. I really wish they would flip San Antonio to 98.99 and then have them match up with the Knicks, but it is what it is. They got to fix John Thomas's face again. This happened last year. They didn't have his face on Toronto 99-2000. Nobody new for the Blazers. Oh, yeah, Michael Stewart is missing. Thank you, Hugo. Michael Stewart needs to go on Toronto. Everybody was already on Philly. Everybody on the Lakers, too. Yeah, Rashid's never going to happen. Sorry. It's just not until he changes what he wants. You know what? Let's look at, because they changed Jason Kidd. They had him in the notes. Was it like 2 years ago? They had him like 12 times in the notes. So we got a little bit, I guess, different kid there. Same face, though. Cut the check. Yes, correct. Rigido. Okay, they added Rigido. Perfect. All right. Perfect. Yeah, Anthony Johnson is missing on the Nets. They still got Joe Johnson kind of low on that 0203 team. Ratings-wise, at least. Yeah, probably not. I don't think Reggie will be. There's Troy Hudson again. Rasho Nesterovic. Who is 49? Yeah, 49 years old. That needs to be fixed. Troy Hudson's age is 49. So, yeah, that's got to be fixed on 0304 Minnesota. 0506 Memphis. Lorenzo Wright's added. Antonio Burks got added. So did Anthony Roberson. Wayne Simeon got added for Miami. Earl Barone added for Miami. That leaves Jason Capono as the only guy to add there. Ira Newble got added. That leaves Dwayne Jones as the only guy for the Cavs. Michael Ruffin did get added to the Wizards. That leaves Donnell Harvey. Thank you, Razor. I appreciate that. Yeah, Donnell Taylor for the Wizards. That's the only one that's missing. Gabe Pruitt still missing for Boston. Bobby Jones made it. Bobby Jones out of Washington. Let's go. That leaves Torian Green, Linus Kleza as the guys missing on the roster there. As like the main guys, I guess. Lauren Woods made it for Houston. That leaves Mike Harris as the one missing there. They did add Travis Diener to Portland. Joe Prisbilla is the one that's missing there. Missing John Lucas III. Missing Roddy Brobaugh and Dominique Jones. Okay, so yeah, Martell Webster's not in either. Travis Outlaw got traded, so he wouldn't be eligible for that team. It looks like so. It was Jerome James, Amon Shumpert. I mean, I know Jerome Jordan was in. Okay. There's Ibaka. Lazar Hayward. Cole Aldridge is missing on 11-12. So Cole Aldridge needs to be added there. Ed Davis, Quincy Pondexter. Still missing a lot for Memphis. Well, no, Pondexter and Davis got added, so that helps the team a lot from last year. Who's missing? Norris Cole is missing, and so is Jarvis Varnado. Aaron Baines got added finally, correctly. George Hill got added, that helps. Chris Copeland got added, that helps. Obviously, still need Lance Stevenson, still need Bynum, still need Donald Sloan. Rasul Butler passed away. Who else? Lavoy Allen's another one. Got Blake Griffin. Reggie Bullock luckily did not get removed. Solomon Hill was the other one. Thank you. I couldn't think of it. Willie Green would be needed to be added there. Let me look at something really quickly for Reggie Bullock. Okay, they kept the weird hair. Tail Dog, what's going on, man? Hope you're well. Timofey Mozgov is new. Obviously, still need Amon Shumpert. This is where it's going to get interesting because obviously Iguodala is not in. No, it's not lack of effort, Joe Schmo. They have to get Willie Green's rights as a player. It's separate. They can't use him as a coach and a player. It's not, they can't do that. Because he's part of the coaching association, and so he gets paid for that, and the licensing for a player is separate. So you have to go get him as a player, and he has to agree to that. So just to clear that up, that's how that works. Yeah. No JaVale. Yeah, same thing with Rick Carlisle. Yep. Same thing like Pat Riley, obviously in the game as a player too and a coach, so he'd have to get both. You'd have to do both for him. Yeah, the Warriors are like decimated now because they don't have like JaVale McGee's missing. We're gonna go through the free agents in a minute, but there's Ibaka. There they finally added Jody Meeks. There's Eric Moreland. Still missing Jordan Lloyd and Malcolm Miller. Let's go to the all-time teams. See if anything's different. I'm honestly not expecting much out of this all-time teams. So far, everybody's the exact same. I really wish they would fix Mark Price. That would be great. Yeah, like the rosters are literally the same for the eras. They added Blake Griffin in. As you guys mentioned, there's Pete Maravich. Which one is it to get his? Yeah. There's Pete Maravich. They still got Jeff Teague as a all-time team. It's hilarious. Yeah, not much different as far as the all-time teams goes. They're going to have to get some really significant names to swap those out. So that's the thing there. So no Dick Barnett. So who do they add to take his spot? I'm guessing Brunson got added. Yep, there's Brunson. Still the same rosters, yeah. I mean, I don't think they really swap out the all-time team. I mean, it's literally the same names. Like Oladipo's not on here anymore. But I'm trying to see, did they? Yeah, they swapped Siakam in. We're gonna get to who is in my team only. Who did I miss? Oh, Connie Hawkins. Yeah, Connie Hawkins was in my team last year. I'm gonna make my way through these pretty quickly because there's not really anything. I'm just looking at see who might have gotten added. Yeah, a lot of 60s and 70s teams were my team only. All right. Yeah, they literally didn't change anything with the all-time teams. Now, I had heard about this yesterday, so it looks like they've got any international people in here. You're going to have to catch me up to speed. Are these? I don't think these are actual team logos, but are these actual like teams? Like I know Strasbourg is. I think these are all teams that are real, right? Oh yeah, guess Williams. Okay, yeah, they swapped it out. Like I don't. Oh, they're fake teams. Okay, I wasn't sure. I thought Strasbourg was a real team. Like Basket Madrid is supposed to be like. Is that supposed to be Real Madrid? Is that what they're going for? FC Barcelona, I would assume. Like, or that's Barcelona. I don't even. That's crazy. G League. Jamison Brewer, Dominic McGuire, and Mateen Cleaves are all missing. Yes, they're all missing. Real teams, fake logos, and players. Okay. Unicaja. Okay. So it's Unicaja Malaga, I guess. Is that how you say it? I'm sorry, I'm not great with the pronunciations. Celtics. Okay. Clippers are different. I would assume maybe that's because of my team they have it. Like they put simulators because they don't have the license for the teams. Okay, makes sense. Oops. Swarm. Salt Lake City Stars have a new logo. Westchester Knicks. Okay, so they at least updated the logos. There's the Noblesville Boom, which was Fort Valley. Man, I can't even remember the team's name now. Basically, the Fort Wayne Mad Ants. So, doesn't look like we get Mexico City. So Mexico City's out again. So no Capitans. Here's the free agent pool. Let's go through that. Man, there's a lot of good free agents, unfortunately. I'm going to look at Kessler Edwards. Damn. Did they finally? No, they still didn't get a scan of him. What is this, like the third year now? What happened? Did I hit something? Oh, I knocked it. Okay, that's what I did. Yeah. So he's been in the league 4 years and they still don't have a scan for him. That's crazy. Let's see if Jared Roden got one. I'm just looking at the generic players to see the ones that I knew that were generic last year. I know Micah Potter had one. Trevelyan Queen. Let's see if he got one. Nope. I mean, the good thing is some of these guys will be in the G League. Like, I think Bones Highland goes back to Minnesota, but wow. So they still don't have, like, they didn't prioritize scans for a lot of these guys. Let's see. Lester Canones. If I'm not mistaken, didn't he sign a 2-way contract? Maybe not, but Vasily Misic, Keon Brooks. Oh, they did update Keon Brooks. So they got a new scan for him. So we'll have some good players for the G League rosters, I hope. Nate Williams, the scan is in. Did they update McClung? Not really. Mason Jones get a scan. Mason Jones got a scan. Pat Spencer got a scan. Marcus Bagg. I can't tell. I don't think that's a scan, is it? No. Did they finally update Amarui? Nope. They add Marcus Garrett's scan from before? Nope. Sonogo got a scan. Jay-Z and Gortman got a scan. All right. Well, let's go through the rosters really quick. Justin Edwards, still no scan. Dominic Barlow get one? Nope. Hunter Salas didn't get one. And I'm going to do a separate video where I go through all the faces. So I'm not going to do this in this one because I got to wrap this one up. But I'll jump back and have another scan, or another not a scan, another video going through all of the player scans for the regular roster. Yuki Kawamura got a scan. Tomlin? I don't think Tomlin got a scan. No. Amari Williams got a scan. Yannick. Okay. Still no scan. No. Let's see. I'm just going through the players that are new to the game. Cedric Howard, Javon Small, Cam Spencer, PJ Hall, Jemai Mashik. Man, 2K actually did a good job out of the box this year for the rosters. Like they got all the two-way guys. There's nobody really missing. So that's good. Nothing for Keaton Wallace. Nothing for Nicola. Eli Nadaye. Nothing. Jacob Toppin. Nothing. Kasparis. Yakashonis. Did they get Drew Smith? Nope. No scan for Drew Smith. Nothing for Kashard Johnson. Nothing for Myron Gardner. Nothing for Vladislav Golden. Nothing for, because that's a generic for Cyan James, right? Or no, that's a scan. Okay. Drew Peterson. I will look at the coaches in just a minute. John Tonji. Eliza Harkless. He didn't get an update. Science generic? Okay, I couldn't tell. He must be getting the scan because they had it darkened out, so you couldn't see it. Maxim Raynaud. Dylan Cardwell. Isaiah Stevens. Daquan Plowden. Chris Mannon. What I'll do is I will do a separate video on these. Oh, Jamal Cain got one. I'm just going to run through the rosters really quick so you guys can see them. And then I'll do a separate video walking through each of the scans. Ricky Council's got the same one. Quentin Jackson had his already. Cam Jones, Taylor Peter. Because if you've watched other videos, you saw the rookie scans for the most part. So I'll go back through, like I said, and do an individual video on each of the ones. Elijah Martin. Isaiah Crawford got a scan. Did Kavon Harris get one? Nope. David Jones Garcia didn't get one. At least they updated his name, though. Jordan Goodwin get one? No. Nigel Hayes Davis. Sheer Fleming. CJ Huntley. Kobe Brea. Barnheiser got a scan. Because he wasn't in previously. In videos. Rocco Zagarsky didn't get a scan. He has one, so he should be updated at some point because they showed him getting a scan at Summer League, so I'm sure he'll be in a patch at some point. All right, well, they did actually a pretty good job. Overall, Alex Toohey got a scan. Jameer Watkins, Will Riley. Okay, so they did a pretty good job overall with them. Let's look at the coaches. There's Brian Keefe, doesn't have an update. Jordan Ott. Mitch Johnson got an update. Jordan Ott looks like he updated. David Adelman, no update. That looks like a Jordy Fernandez update. I can't see because he's posing at a weird angle. That looks like Jordy Fernandez's update. I can't tell because it's such a weird angle. I'm 99% sure it's an update. Charles Lee. Charles Lee got an update. Let's go back. Jumas Isolo update. All right. Well, that's going to wrap it up for this video, guys. I'll come back in a little bit later because my son's just about to get home from school. So I will be back. Give me like another couple hours. I'll put another stream together, and I will go over all the regular rosters, all the faces, more in depth with the coaching staff and stuff like that. Please, if you haven't already, hit the thumbs up button. Make sure you're subbed to the channel. I'll have a donation link to my PayPal and Cash App in the description. If you guys are so generous, anything, like I said, would go to my son, who is 8, going to be 9. If you guys want to thank me for my efforts and stuff, it all goes to him, so you'd be helping him out. So please do. Every little bit helps. Any amount helps. If you like all the content, especially from the retro roster side that was put in this year, as well as all the analysis on the videos. Thanks, everybody. Thank you for watching. I'll be back with some more videos soon. Thanks and take care. Enjoy playing NBA 2K26.